Imagine you're playing golf and every time you hit the ball, you hit it to the left. What would your next step be to fix it? Would you turn more towards that side and continue hitting it more and more left, confused as to why we're not getting it close to the target? No, probably not. You would probably start to make subtle changes where you turn your body closer to the target. And at that point, you see the ball gets closer to the target. The reason I'm telling you this is because when it comes to balance training, so many of us just have our patients raise a leg and then they fall, and then raise a leg and then they fall, and we're confused as to why their balance isn't getting better. This is synonymous with us turning more towards that side to hit it more and more left, but being confused, we're moving further from the target. So instead, we need to make subtle changes to improve a patient's balance. We need to give them a 3-step framework to set them up for success from a position standpoint, but ultimately get them to really learn and feel how to do it. The first step is shift. Before we lift a leg or do any sort of stance change to improve balance, we need to familiarize our patients with shifting their center of mass. Once we shift, it's a lot easier to then move a leg in whatever exercise we're doing. The thing is that there's 2 different types of shifts. We have the incorrect shift and we have the correct shift. So with the incorrect, the center of mass isn't really changing. We're just pushing the hip over. Our center of mass is still staying on this side. The correct way is cueing your patient to move nose over toe. So we want them to actually see their nose go over the toe. If you do this properly, you start to offload the other leg, right? Because we're shifting. And at this point, nose over toe, I'm now in a position where my center of mass has shifted. I'm in a much more optimal position to then go to the next step in the exercise. So now they're familiar with their center of mass reorienting. Now they need to know what to feel at the foot. I'd encourage you to do this without shoes so they can get more grounded and feel the ground just to increase their overall sensation. But the next step is the foot tripod. We need to familiarize our patients with their foot tripod. The tripod is the heel, the big toe, and the pinky toe. And just like a tripod, if you take one of the legs out, the whole thing's going to fall over. So we need to increase their awareness as to first how to feel it. If they're shifted over and they can't feel that tripod, have them just raise their toes slightly off the ground. That pushes the bones down, that gives them more of a reference. Next, we need to tell them what to do with it. Once we go to lift our leg or whatever the exercise is that you're doing, they need to maintain the 3 points of contact. Maintaining the 3 points of contact allows them to not panic when the ankle starts wobbling. Instead, it gives them a reference point as to what they need to think about. So for example, if we are bringing a leg up and I start to lean towards the side and my big toe comes off, instead of panicking, we're thinking big toe came off, I need to get that big toe back down. I need to recenter the tripod. The final step is peel. For some reason, when we're doing balance exercises, a lot of us think that we just need to take the foot off the ground. Instead, cue your patient to peel their foot off the ground. This will allow them to actually find the point that is challenging for them, and then that's where they can work on it. Before I show you the peel, remember when it comes to balance training, a lot of patients feel like it's bad if they're wobbling, but the wobble is good, right? Those intrinsic muscles, it's good for the whole body to start to learn how to maintain that. So ideally, the peel should initiate a wobble, but they should be able to maintain it. So if I step back so you can see me, if we go up, I'll show you this way. If I do my shift, if I'm in a good position, I have my tripod, the peel is peeling the heel up and finding that point where that wobble comes in. Usually it's when that toe is the only thing on the ground, but this is a far better position to work on balance instead of just lifting and falling. Remember, as they go to that peel, you have to cue them that they need to stay nose over toe. because a lot of people will try to put weight down on that foot. So you got to watch that, and you got to cue them that as you go into there, you stay shifted over the left side.